So Robert Manfred had a press conference yesterday, and in that press conference, he revealed that he's going to be stepping down as commissioner here soon. He talked about the brand new jerseys. He talked about maybe implementing a free agency deadline, and also he talked about the A's, and he kind of put his foot in his mouth again. Also, Ronald Acuna Jr. came out and said that he wants to sign a lifetime contract with the Braves, so a lot to talk about today. Again, all of that in today's MLB Recap. If you want to stay up to date on the game of baseball, this is the best place to be, so hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 500,000 subs. So I was going to talk about Robert Manfred and his press conference first, but we have some breaking news as I'm recording today's video. The Padres are moving Xander Bogaerts to second base. Ha-Seong Kim is going to be the full-time shortstop going forward. Now, this is the correct baseball move. I know that Xander Bogaerts is making $300+ million, and you don't really want to upset the apple cart for a guy who's making that much money, but Xander, he's handled it with grace. He's more than accepting with a move to second base, and I think that's because his speed and arm have decreased in back-to-back seasons, and who knows, if he's trying to build a Hall of Fame case, maybe this actually helps him because his defense isn't going to be dragging down his WAR season after season, although I will give him some credit and kind of tip my cap. He has improved the defense over the last few years, but with the range and the arm decreasing year after year, Ha-Seong Kim as your everyday shortstop, that makes a lot more sense, and to me, I don't think you move Xander Bogaerts unless you're going to give Ha-Seong Kim an extension, so to me, Xander's going to be a full-time second baseman, which is great. He joins Mookie Betts as a guy moving positions, and also Ha-Seong Kim, I feel like this all but confirms he's about to get an extension because you don't just move a $300 million guy for one season. Now, staying with some contract talks, Ronald Acuna Jr. came out and said that he wants to be a Brave for life, and I feel like the Braves owe this man a lot considering this dude signed an 8-year, $100 million extension. I know to the average citizen like you and I, that's a lot of money, but for a guy as talented as Ronald Acuna Jr., that is one of the more team-friendly contracts in the history of not just baseball, in sports. I think the number one might actually be Ozzie Albies. He needs to fire his agent. Remember that 7-year, $35 million contract he signed with the Braves? Fire your agent, Ozzie. Do not bring him back. But the 2023 NL MVP probably just saw Bobby Witt Jr. get a fat bag, and he said, hey guys, I want some of that as well. I'm not joking with you guys. If Ronald gets a lifetime extension from the Braves, I have a feeling it's going to be $350 to $400 million. And probably what's going to happen is the Braves are still going to somehow convince him to donate 1% of that to their Atlanta Braves Foundation, which is still pretty cool. It's a write-off, I think. All right, here we go. Let's talk about Robbie, shall we? Mr. Manfred, the commissioner, came out in a press conference yesterday and said that he will not be the commissioner after 2028. His tenure will be ending at the beginning of 2029. Now, we're going to spend the next few moments criticizing Robert Manfred, but I do want to say he actually seems like a good man, and he seems like a great father, and the pace of play rule changes, I think that they've been great for the game of baseball, but aside from that, in the press conference, he really did put his foot in his mouth all over again. Also, real quick, I just want to mention that before he leaves as commissioner, he wants a plan in place to extend Major League Baseball to 32 teams, so that's fun. If Major League Baseball is trying to expand, I feel like they should expand to Las Vegas and not move the A's to Vegas, but maybe that's just me. We'll talk about the A's and Manfred in just a second. But before we talk about Robert Manfred speaking on the A's, he spoke on the boring free agency, and he said that he tried to get a free agency deadline in place, but the Players Association did not like it.
We would prefer to have a free agent signing period, ideally probably in December, with a deadline that drove people to make their deals, get things settled. We actually made proposals to that effect to the MLBPA. They were not warmly received. You know, with the system we have right now, one of the tactics that's available to player representatives is to stretch out the negotiation in the belief that they're going to get a better deal. That's part of the system right now. There's not a lot we can do about it. But certainly from an aspirational perspective, we'd rather have, 2 weeks of flurried activity in December, preferably around the winter meetings where you're all there to write about it and, we all get excited about the upcoming year.
Now, obviously, as a content creator, that would benefit me a lot because we're going into the third week of February, and Cody Bellinger, Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell, Matt Chapman, JD Martinez, they're still free agents. So that would make my job a whole lot easier. That would make the fan experience a whole lot more engaging. But I feel like that would rush players into making decisions that maybe they're not comfortable with. And to me, I feel like that puts the power back in the hands of the owners. And I don't think I'm cool with that. So that's my opinion on that. Robert Manfred is preaching patience with MLB's new jerseys. Yes, he spoke about the new Nike Vapor jerseys that everyone is trashing on. Let's see what he had to say.
Well, we always pay attention to what people are saying about any new initiative. I think in baseball, any new initiative, there's going to be some negative feedback. First and most important, these are Nike jerseys. I mean, we entered this partnership with Nike because of who they are and the kinds of products that they produce. Everything they've done for us so far has been absolutely 100% successful across the board. The jerseys are different. They're designed to be performance wear as opposed to what has traditionally been worn, so they are going to be different. But they have been tested more extensively than any jersey in any sport. The feedback from the All-Star game last year where the jerseys were worn was uniformly positive from the players. So I think after people, wear them a little bit, I think that they're going to be really popular.
I just don't really understand why Manfred and others can't see that. We're not criticizing the material of the jersey really itself. All we're really talking about is the nameplate on the back. They mess up 4-letter names. They mess up a name like Verlander, which is really not that long. No matter what your last name is, it looks funny with the new heated and ironed-on press on the back of the jersey because there's no longer stitching, whether it's the badge on the sleeve, the numbers, or the names. It is now hot pressed and ironed on. That's why on this George Kirby jersey, you can see there's a line right below the jersey numbers. That's because it was ironed on. That was the edge of the press. And I'm sorry, but when you're selling it for $175, which is more expensive than last year, I think that the fans should like it and not be worried about having performance gear while they're eating nachos in the third row of the right outfield. Like, they're not performing. They're not players. And the final big note about Robert Manfred, he said before he leaves as commissioner, he wants the situation with the A's to be fully in place with the new stadium and everything like that. But he said, first of all, we do have a major league team in the Bay Area. It's not like there's not an available option. The Giants obviously still play there. That's where I say he puts his foot in his mouth because instead of saying, hey, A's fans, we tried everything, maybe he's already said that before, so he could feel like he's repeating himself. Instead, he just chose to say, hey, A's fans, you have a stadium 25, 30 minutes away. Just become a Giants fan. Yeah, I don't think that's how that works, Mr. Manfred. I don't think that's a good thing to say. So again, he seems like a very nice man. He seems like a great father. The pace of play changes were great, but calling the World Series trophy a piece of metal, telling A's fans to become a Giants fan, saying that fans should get over the new jerseys and them being ugly simply because they're better at wicking sweat. It's just not good. It's not good enough. Real quick, we have some updates on free agents. Eduardo Escobar is going to the Blue Jays. I'm hoping that he's not the Matt Chapman replacement because he's been borderline unusable since 2021. So yeah, he is going to the Blue Jays. We also have an update on Tim Anderson. The Marlins, like I mentioned a couple days ago, I predicted that because they signed Nick Gordon, I feel like they were going to set up a Tim Anderson contract offer. I don't know if he's going to go there, but a contract offer has been extended by the Marlins to Mr. Tim Anderson. And then Whit Merrifield, a lot of people are saying he's going to the Phillies, but we should know where he's going in the next week. Well, that's going to do it for today's recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you agree with Robert Manfred, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, also let me know. Don't forget to subscribe because we're on the road to 500,000 subs, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.